Jon here from jon.tv, Jon.tv. Doing this video again. I actually did one previously and it basically sucked. So I'm not very good at this. I'm still learning. Give me a break and I'll try and make it more interesting as I move forward. But basically, the last video my friend said, you said you were going to talk about yourself and you didn't say a single thing. So my bad, I'm here to correct that. I did a series of videos, so the others couple you're going to see, but in the meantime you get this one a little bit about me. And the reason I wrote the blog really is about what excites me in life. It's about learning, it's about what's in here. I studied a whole lot of people over time, some quite famous people and some quite not so famous people, in all sorts of areas: philosophy, religion, culture, psychology, mindset, all these types of things. Some of the more recent people have been like Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, DeMartini. They're the ones that come to mind, but a whole bunch. And what I actually learned from studying all this and reading all this, because at one point I was reading a book a week, was that it all came down to what was going on in here. And so I decided I decided to sort of really focus on that and work out, well, what's going on, and which is why I talk about the 11 Forgotten Laws and why I talk about 6 Minutes to Success so often. It's because they are really key parts for me in how I achieve what I'm able to achieve. And those two programs are great summaries and save you a whole lot of work doing all the other research that I've done previously. But how did I come to that point? The reason I came to that point is because of my upbringing. I'm obviously Asian, but I'm obviously Australian. And I was brought up really with an Asian background, but in an Australian country, in a Western country. And what that allowed me to do was to see a couple of things that maybe others didn't see. And I worked this out just by speaking to my dad, because my dad had the inverse experience. He was brought up in Malaysia. He was brought up in an Eastern culture, but he went to an English school, so he had the inverse experience almost to me. And what we were both able to work out was there are certain things that are common to cultures or religions or philosophies, and there are certain things that are just common to humanity. And those things that are common to humanity stood out simply because we noticed that it doesn't matter whether you're East or West or what religion or what philosophy you came from, everyone believed that that was the case. And the number one thing obviously that we noticed was what goes on in here. So my dad and I over time studied all sorts of psychologies, philosophies, mindsets really about what makes people successful, and we studied it very, very intently, and that's how we came up with the things that we came up with. I mean, there's 1,000 books we could recommend, but the reality is just start with what goes on in here. And I know I keep saying that because it really, really does make a big difference. So that's the story about where I am. The blog is really just an expression of that, so you can get an idea of what is going on in my mind and also what I'm studying at the time. And I plan to give you a series of different things, of things that I've studied over time, and maybe give you an insight on how that all works. So without getting boring and too long, I'll cut it off here. I'll speak to you next time. Bye.